Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to a true story animation about a teacher who got their student pregnant.
Have you ever done something truly evil and destroyed someone's whole life? Well, I have. I was 19 and about to graduate from high school, but then my math teacher, Mr. Cumberbatch, told me I'd failed his class and would have to repeat the year. I was devastated because I had already made plans to go to college.
Well, it looks like you're not going to be able to go to college. I don't understand people who think ahead. Like, I know if you're in school, you want to try and do well to go on to university, but if you're not good at school, you're probably not going to go to university.
So I started crying and begged him to show mercy and let me pass, but he said no and shook his head. In a last attempt, I gave him a big hug and said, "Please, Mr. Cumberbatch, isn't there anything I can do?"
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that made me feel really uncomfortable. Like, that made me feel really weird. Can anyone else relate to that? Like, I don't know why, that just gave me a massive ick. Don't hug your teachers and say that.
He pushed me away and said, "No, it's too late now." But I showed persistence and kept begging him, saying, "Please, please, please, Mr. Cumberbatch, isn't there anything I can do for you?"
Why would you say that to a teacher? They're your teacher, not your friend. If you're not good at the subject, you're not gonna get good grades. Also, you guys, there's construction going on outside my house, so sorry if you can hear that.
Finally, he had a change of heart and wrote down an address on a paper and said, "Okay, come here on Saturday, 6 p.m. We will do some math exercises, and if you do well, I will change your grade and let you pass."
No, that is not good. Do not go to a teacher's house, do the revision in school. Why would you go to a teacher's house? That means one thing and one thing only.
I gave him one last hug and said, "Thank you, Mr. Cumberbatch. You are the best." When Saturday arrived, I was very nervous. I didn't know if I was going on a date or if I was getting a private math lesson.
Wait, so in the back of her mind, she thought she could possibly be going on a date. This girl has bad intentions, I'm telling you.
But just to be sure, I dressed myself up. I put on my old school uniform, but made a few changes to look as exciting as possible.
Oh my gosh, you're meant to be going to your teacher's house to revise. I'm telling you, in the back of her mind, she doesn't want to do any revision. She wants to get with her teacher.
When I arrived at his house, he opened the door and said, "Come in. You're looking gorgeous today." I responded with, "Thank you, Mr. Cumberbatch. You're looking good too."
Why is this happening? Like, whereabouts in the world did this happen? What teacher is speaking to their student like this? You're meant to have a relationship with your teacher, but not that type of relationship. Like a mentor relationship, not a love relationship.
We sat down at a desk and he told me to solve some math problems, but I couldn't focus. Mr. Cumberbatch was so close to me and I realized how attractive he was. I mean, I was 19 and he was only 10 years older than me. What turned me on the most was the authority he had over me. He could decide whether I would pass the year or repeat it.
Nah, I don't like this, I really don't. At least she's 19, so she's legally an adult, which means he's not breaking the law. But in a way, he is breaking rules, because I swear students aren't allowed to get into a relationship of that sort with their teacher. Surely that goes against a couple of school rules.
At one point, I just stared into his eyes and hoped he would kiss me, but I guess he was too nervous. So instead, I kissed him, and he liked it. Kissing my high school teacher wasn't technically illegal, but we still broke the rules of our school.
So in the eyes of the school, it is illegal. Why are you kissing your teacher? Like, why are you doing that? You guys, this is definitely an American story. Like, this would only happen in America.
A teacher-student relationship was strictly prohibited, but that's what made it so exciting. When we said goodbye to each other, I asked him if I had studied enough to pass the year, and he said, "You have worked very hard today, and therefore I will let you pass." I said, "Thank you, Mr. Cumberbatch," and gave him one more kiss on his mouth.
You guys, what is going on? This is a student with a teacher. I hope none of you guys are doing what this student's doing to their teacher, because your teacher's gonna end up in jail.
This might shock you, but it was my first time, and because of my inexperience, I forgot to tell him to use protection.
Wait, I thought they only kissed. They actually went the whole way. Nah, this isn't good. This is not good. She's literally gonna become pregnant. Like, she's gonna give birth to a baby.
So 2 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. I didn't mind though, because I really liked Mr. Cumberbatch. The next day, I went up to him at school to tell him about the baby. I secretly hoped we would become a couple. But when he heard the news, he got angry and said, "You will go to the pharmacy right now and get the pill."
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised that he's saying that. Why would a teacher want to have a baby with their student? Like, he was probably hoping you'd be going off to university and he'd never have to see you again. What happens if he's got like a wife at home? Is he gonna be having a divorce? Like, you guys, I'm so intrigued in this story.
I didn't like the way he talked to me. This was my body, and therefore ignore my decision. I asked him if he was interested in raising the baby with me, but he freaked out and screamed, "I already have a wife and kid. I'll never take care of your stupid baby. Go to the pharmacy right now."
So he has a wife. I was correct. You guys, I always predict these things. Like, why is he cheating on his wife? That's so bad. And it's with a student as well. So he's being deceitful towards his wife and he's breaking school rules. If the school finds out, they're literally gonna sack him. Like, he's gonna lose his job and his family.
I screamed back, "You're married?" And he said, "Of course. And don't act like you didn't know. All my students know I have a wife and kid." Wow, what a jerk. Not only did he betray his wife, but now he was trying to put the blame on me.
So she didn't actually know that he had a wife and children. Okay, I kind of do feel sorry for her. But she also did go to his house with that type of intention. And then he went along with it as well, so he's even worse.
I got angry and said, "I will keep the baby and tell your wife what you did." That's when he almost had a seizure and screamed right at me, "You won't do that." But then I had an idea. I knew I would keep the baby anyway, but at least I could pretend to make a deal with him.
Is she gonna try and blackmail him? She's literally gonna blackmail him into giving her money or giving her good grades. Trust me, that's not gonna end well. Somebody's gonna get assassinated.
I said, "If you turn all my grades into straight A's, then I will change my mind on the baby." Mr. Cumberbatch was desperate. He agreed to the deal and snuck into our school at night to change my grades on the principal's computer.
This is so illegal. Why is he sneaking into the school? And I'm pretty sure people are gonna raise an eyebrow whenever you've got straight A's but you're really bad at the subject. Like, how are you gonna be failing the class in school but doing really well in tests? You guys, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The way they've went around the situation is so bad. Like, they need to hire somebody to do it for them. You guys are gonna get caught.
But 2 days later, on my graduation day, things went wrong. When my principal handed over my report card, he took a quick look at it and said, "There must have been a mistake." I immediately knew my plan had failed. And the next day I got my real report card, and my grades were terrible. The only A I got was in Mr. Cumberbatch's math class.
Exactly. I told you you're gonna get caught out. How are you gonna be doing horrible in classes and expect straight A's? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Whenever I was in school, I would never try like I was the worst student ever. And I'd always sit back and wish I got A's. But the thing is, I probably could have got straight A pluses, but I just didn't put the work in. Don't expect a good result if you're bad at the subject.
I knew it wasn't his fault, but I was so angry, I found out his address and went to his house. A woman opened the door, and she was pregnant too. I asked her if she was the wife of Mr. Cumberbatch, and she said yes. Then Mr. Cumberbatch appeared next to her.
Oh no, we're about to have a standoff. She's literally turned up to his house and his pregnant wife has answered the door. What is she gonna say? Like, we need to find out.
He stared at me in a very threatening way. For a moment, I had doubts, but then I looked straight into her eyes and said, "Your husband got me pregnant, and he has no interest in taking responsibility for his mistake."
She didn't even take her off into another room or ask him to leave them alone. She literally said it in front of him to her. Oh no, World War III's about to kick off, get ready.
I hoped she would get angry at her husband, but instead she got angry at me, screaming, "You've seduced my husband."
Do you want to know something? That actually happens a lot. Instead of the girl getting mad at the boy, the girl will get mad at the other girl. It's like your boyfriend or husband literally cheated on you. Be mad at them.
Wow, if Mr. Cumberbatch hadn't told her back from me, I might not be alive today. I was shocked and went back home, but it got worse.
Okay, so apparently it got worse. I'm gonna guess that the wife turned up to her house. You guys, she's literally gonna try and fight her.
The next day, she came to my house and used a golf club to break in through a window. My parents weren't at home to protect me, so I fled to the rooftop and called the police.
This is literally illegal. Like, she's there to kill you. You guys, I told you somebody was gonna get assassinated in this video and it's happening. I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised.
They arrived in time and took Mrs. Cumberbatch into custody. 2 weeks later, she was sentenced to 24 months in prison. But this story gets even crazier. I called up Mr. Cumberbatch and told him we needed to talk. We met at a restaurant and I asked him, "How much child support will you pay me each month?" He responded, "I'm only a teacher. I don't make much money." But I asked again, "How much child support are you going to pay me?" He said, "Look, my pregnant wife is in prison and we both know she is insane. I will divorce her as soon as possible and I'd like you to come live with me."
Absolutely not. You better be having a laugh right now. Like, there's no way that's gonna work. He literally cheated on his wife with you, which means you two are gonna get married and then he's gonna cheat on you. You're literally setting yourself up for disaster. Why are you still trying to speak to him?
It will will be the best for both you and the baby. I immediately said yes because I was scared of being a single mom. But after my daughter was born, I had to take care of both her and Mr. Cumberbatch's other baby. At first, I didn't mind. I loved them both. But then I saw how Mr. Cumberbatch preferred his other daughter over mine. He spent more time with her and treated her so much better. Every morning, he said to her, "Hey, sweetie, good morning. I love you so much." And then he completely ignored my daughter.
Exactly, I told you he doesn't actually love you or your daughter, and that's why you need to leave him. He's literally gonna cut you off soon, like you're gonna be homeless. What are her parents saying? Like, where are her parents? I swear they literally live in the same area, like shouldn't her parents be with her as well?
I had to admit that she was the perfect child. Extremely beautiful and very smart, much smarter than my daughter. At age 2, she already spoke fluently. I often screamed at Mr. Cumberbatch, telling him to treat them equally, but he never did. At one point, I couldn't take it anymore. I went to a lawyer and asked him how much the father of my child had to pay me in child support on a $40,000 teacher salary. He told me to expect at least $1,000 per month.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. $1,000 a month is like $12,000 a year. That is over a quarter of his salary. And then you also have to keep in mind that he's gonna get taxed, which means he's literally gonna have no money. But I also do feel really bad for her because he's literally treating her and her daughter like rubbish. He's literally treating them like second-class citizens. I hate it.
That was a good amount, but I knew I could do better. So I went to Mr. Cumberbatch and said, "I will move out, but I expect you to pay me $2,000 in child support each month." Of course, he told me he didn't have enough money to do that, but I continued. "If you don't pay me the money, I will tell the school authorities that you got me pregnant while I was one of your students."
Yeah, that's gonna result in him losing his job, and then you're not gonna be able to get any money. If he loses his income, how's he meant to pay you?
He got angry and said, "How stupid are you? If I'm gonna lose my job, then how am I gonna pay your child support?" I responded, "You are demanded by the law to pay my child support anyway. If you don't, you will go to prison just like your wife."
Either way, he's probably gonna end up in jail because I've got a feeling she's gonna murder him. You guys, I literally predicted it. Somebody's gonna get murdered, and I've got a feeling it's gonna be him.
"You are insane. All you women are insane," he said. But I didn't care. I told him to get a second job, and we figured he could tutor kids to afford the $2,500 in child support. Meanwhile, I moved back in with my parents, and life became much easier for me.
Well, at least life's a tiny bit easier for her. She's now living with her parents and she's getting money. Honestly, she's making bank.
Right now, my mom takes care of my daughter while I'm going to college. With the $2,500 Mr. Cumberbatch sends me each month, I have enough money to feed my daughter and party through the weekends.
Do not spend money on partying. Trust me, you need to save that money because that money's not gonna last forever. If I could tell my younger self one thing from like years ago, it would be not to waste your money. I literally spent thousands and wasted thousands on stuff I don't need. It's honestly one of my biggest regrets. Think about it, you really need what you're gonna buy. I can't even party right now, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So if you can, please save as much money as possible. It'll help you in the long run.
Trust me, I really enjoy my college life. But Mr. Cumberbatch had to move into a cheaper and smaller house. He couldn't afford his old rent anymore. I knew it was wrong, but for some reason, I deeply enjoyed seeing Mr. Cumberbatch suffer.
Yeah, she's turning into a psycho. Yet again, he's gonna die soon, I've got a feeling.
A few months later, I checked his Facebook and saw he was back with Mrs. Cumberbatch. I was still envious of their daughter. I didn't think they deserved such a perfect child. So one night, after I came back from a college party, I did something terrible.
She's gonna murder him. I'm telling you right now, he's gonna die. Like, somebody's gonna die. You guys, why is somebody gonna end up behind jail? He's either gonna die or be put into prison. She's a psycho and she's gonna do it.
I put a bunch of photos of me holding Mrs. Cumberbatch's daughter on a USB stick, put it in an envelope, and sent it to their new home. I wanted to let Mrs. Cumberbatch know that her husband and I had been living together while she was in prison. I'd hoped she'd get angry and break into my house so the police could arrest her again. But this time nothing happened, and instead of giving up, I took it one step further. When it was time to receive my next child support check, I went to their home to pick it up personally. Mrs. Cumberbatch opened the door looking shocked to see me. I said, "I want to pick up my child support check in person." She said, "What are you talking about?" And I responded, "Your husband didn't tell you? He pays me $2,000 per month in child support so I can take care of my daughter." I saw she was getting angry.
Yeah, I don't blame her. They're literally living in a really tiny house while he's giving you loads of money every single month. Like, is she getting that money? If he's paying you $2,000 a month, that means he has to pay her $2,000 a month. So where's he getting this extra money from?
And then her daughter came to the door and saw me. She immediately started screaming out of joy and ran up to me. Her mother said, "Don't touch her!" But I didn't care. I picked her up and said, "Oh, there's my baby. Mama is back now." now? Her mother took her out of my arms and screamed at me, "Dirty little girl, all you do is destroy happy families."
I kinda do feel bad for the daughter because now she's really confused. The blonde girl's her stepmom, but her biological mom is also her mom. It's kinda a weird situation to explain, but I feel so bad for her because she's literally caught up in this situation.
If you're such a happy family, why didn't your husband tell you he's paying another girl $2,000 a month in child support? And where is he anyway? I'm sure he wants to sleep with me again. She responded, "You better not come here again or it will be your last time." And I said, "You better be careful your husband doesn't get another girl pregnant. He really doesn't care about you." That's when she suddenly ran into her apartment. I was afraid she was getting a knife, so I quickly got out of there ASAP. But on my way home, I felt weird, like I had done something wrong. It seemed that Mrs. Cumberbatch had matured and was really trying her best to make things work.
Has the husband died? Like, where's the husband? What's happened?
Meanwhile, I was the one trying to destroy their family and making everyone miserable. I knew I'd messed up, and that's why I decided not to bother them anymore. I still receive my child support checks, but now I fully focus on my daughter and on college.
And that is the end of the video. So it turns out she actually left the family alone, but she's still collecting her money. I mean, at the end of the day, at least she's getting paid. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the video. We reacted to a story animation. I'll link the channel that makes these videos down in the description down below, so definitely go and check them out. Honestly, you guys, this video was a mess, but if you want to see me react to more of their animations, let me know and I definitely will. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the subscribe button and leave a like in this video. If you liked what you seen in this video, definitely go through and watch all my other videos. Guarantee if you enjoyed this video, you like my others. And yes, I will see you all in my next video.